It's a personal statement. I mean, we try to get better every day. We try to see how good we can be at this game. And 2 years ago we made match play and got beat by a good Georgia team, and that stung a little bit. We had some really good players. Scott Langley, Luke Guthrie were on that team, and some guys that really, 3 All-Americans. And we didn't win it, and it didn't make a lot of sense because we thought we were pretty good, and we were good. To come in here with this team, we learned a lot from 2 years ago making match play. I think you have to learn that a little bit. And the statement it makes to us is that this is a program, and we learned from the guys before us. And these young guys have come in and picked up right where they left off, and have had a pretty successful year. It's been some ups and downs, but that's healthy, I think, for a young team. You don't want it to be all good or all bad. You got to make improvement, and a pretty big statement when these kids can take some adversity throughout the year and turn it around and do this at the end of the season.
Last of 4 teams remaining by day's end. Do you guys feel like you began this week flying under the radar, and has that changed?
Probably not as much under the radar as people would think, because we just came off a regional win, and we took a lot of pride in that win. The goal to go to regionals is to get out top 5, but I believe if you try to win, it's easier to be top 5, and that was our goal. And so I think people took notice of that. But I think people in the college golf circles have enough respect for our program in the last 6 or 7 years, what we've done, where I think people think we're a tough team, and I think they know we try to do things the right way. So people maybe not familiar with the college golf scene and sees the schools and sees where we're located and sees some of these other powerful golf programs with great traditions may think it's a surprise. But I didn't think it was a surprise. Our guys were excited to go play, and Texas is a great team. They played a great round, and they got a stable of good players. But so do we.
Up next, the #1 team in the country, putting together one of the greatest seasons in all of college golf. How do you attack that one?
It's going to be fun. I mean, there's no other word to describe it. It's going to be fun. If we look at this thing as any different way, we're looking at it the wrong way, because Cal has had the best season I can remember since I've been coaching 13 years, and that's the best by far I've ever seen. And 5 guys doing the pairings in there, and 5 guys in the top 25. I mean, how am I supposed to think that thing through? It doesn't. It's that's pretty strong. And what's our top-rated guy? 46. But you know what? It's golf. It's match play, and we believe in ourselves. And we're going to enjoy this challenge tomorrow and see how we do.
What's been clicking for you guys this spring? Because obviously there's been an ascension here from your team, and you really seem to be peaking at a good time.
We've made a habit of that. I think if you think about that, it's how our program is designed. I think that's important to us. Being where we're at in our climate, I think, has a lot of advantages to it, and we really prey on those advantages. And I think early in the spring and the wintertime, you're training and you're cultivating and you're growing a game and personalities in a setting where there's not a lot of golf being played. So you're addressing issues, and then when you start playing a little bit this spring, there's some ups and downs because you're traveling a lot. You're getting in, you're going to Warren to play, come back to train, and I think the idea is to peak at the end of the year. Come May and June, we're pretty fired up to play. We've been playing outside at home for about a month since before regionals. We're not tired of each other. We're excited to go play. Some teams that play all spring in January and February and March, May comes around, they're kind of tired of each other maybe. It's been a long season. Let's get this, but us, we're just getting going. And I think that's the way our program was built, and I think a lot of northern schools try to do that. But we've always had the adage that you win tournaments in the fall and you win championships in the spring, and that's a big deal to us. And people remember you for the championships. They remember you for the Big Tens and the regionals and nationals. And to come to make match play 2 years out of 3 speaks a lot about these kids, with only 1 player left from that team. And it's just, these are a tough, gritty bunch. They have a lot of pride in their school and each other, and they have good chemistry, and that's a huge, huge asset in golf.
Was there a point in the spring when you realized the role was starting to happen and your design was coming to fruition?
Well, we were worried a little bit this spring at times because we won at Louisiana, a good old-fashioned tournament down in Lafayette in March, and then we finished 12th out in Arizona and 12th down in Augusta. But if you look at our lineup, we changed our lineup a lot. We played 7 guys most of the year. We play all year, you train all year, you practice all year for the end of the season, and to culminate to like you talk about that ascension. And so we were trying to find out who we wanted to play and what we wanted to do, and a lot of guys had the opportunity. And then when you settle on a team, those guys feel powerful when that happens. They've earned that right to go compete, and then you just in coaching you get back, and the hay's in the barn, so to speak. We always call that, and just get back and let them go. And hopefully the work and the effort and the belief you've instilled in them throughout the year comes through at the end of the year.
Alex Burge,
played a great round for us. If you remember last year at the Oklahoma Regional, shot 75 in that gale last year to help us get to the finals. Didn't really play much before then. This year he struggled a little bit, shows flashes here and there, but he's a young player, very talented athlete from Central Illinois. He didn't play a lot of golf, doesn't play a lot of golf. I mean, he will now, and he is starting to, but not a great background, but this kid's got substance. Go ahead.
Did you almost leave him home?
No. He didn't have a good regionals, but you know what? Alex brings such a good attitude, such a good demeanor and feeling and vibe with himself. That's healthy for a team. And there's days like this, days like yesterday. He goes out and makes 5 birdies in a row, and the guys see that. You know how powerful that is? For a guy everybody likes to be around and wants everybody around him to succeed, and he's just a feel-good guy. He doesn't have an enemy in the world. I mean, he's one of the nicest human beings you ever meet. He's a competitor. He's a young player, but he's learning. And then today to come out and go about his business and then be the top 25, top 30 ranked player in the country when Alex is, 500? But that's how players are born. Players are born in college. They don't culminate in college. You don't come to college to see, my career's done. You come here to grow. And he's growing. And I think in 2 years you're going to see a pretty good player.